It's a little bit of beige time for bed, a little bit of time on our own. I'm a legend, from the shoes to the wig on my head. Concentrate, turn off that phone. There'll be songs and gags performed to the max. Might even do a shout out just for you. Sit back, get comfortable, relax, and for the many, not just the few. I'm incredible. If you're ready, I'll start the show, cause I'm feeling pumped and I'm primed. And with so much talent, there's no shadow of a doubt, nothing short of a crime. A little beige before bedtime. A little beige before a bedtime. People, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Tuesday, and I'm calling this Chatty Tuesday. It's the first time we've done this. Just wanted to vary it up, mix it up a little bit, and it's me talking to someone I admire or someone that I have a real affinity with, someone who's a dear showbiz personal friend of mine. Just a chance to kind of get to know them a little bit better, peer behind the magical curtain, the end of the Wizard of Oz, and just actually see the workings of what makes great talented people truly talented, and what is their process, and so forth. So it'll be informative, it'll be educational, it will certainly be entertaining. Certainly this first one, it isn't live. What we've done is we've pre-recorded the chat, so you can comment, and please do comment. It is all about your input, and whilst we are on this subject of input, thank you. We sent out a little appeal, my producer Justin Bovington sent out a little appeal to say, we've had a few technical glitches. This Fuyuk, he's less than useless when he does the work of two men, Fuyuk, Laurel and Hardy. Here's a man that started at the bottom and sank, you know what I'm saying? So we're struggling with the technology as best we can. We've managed to harness it, and we are still broadcasting, but with a little bit of help, because we're not charging obviously for these shows, but with a little bit of help, and thank you. We're up to over £200, and only after like half a day. So thank you really from the bottom of my heart. And I will of course be digging deep into my pockets and into other people's pockets to provide a wonderful, it's called a Mevo, and it's like a home studio it's like 4 cameras in one. I don't understand how it works. Why should I? All I know is that when we get it, it's going to just increase the feel of the shows, which are already amazing, but we can always do them better, always. So before we kick off with the interview, the first interview on Chatty Tuesday with my dear friend, and without doubt the greatest impressionist I have ever heard, Mr. Lewis Macloed, I want to sing you a new song, and it is by his son. He's no longer with us, Clive Westlake, a great songwriter. His son asked me would I sing one of his father's songs, and of course it could only really be this one, as the first time I've ever sung this song. It was written for Dusty Springfield. It is I Close My Eyes. And so here it is, the first time I've sung it. I close my eyes and I count to 10. It's an epic. It's quite an incredible song. It isn't the way that you look. It isn't the way that you talk. It isn't in what you say or you do makes me want you so. It isn't nothing to do with the wine or the music that's flooding my mind, but never before have I been so sure you're the someone I dreamed I'd find. It's the way you make me feel the moment I am close to you. It's a feeling so unreal, somehow I can't believe it's true. The pounding I feel in my heart, the hoping that we'll never part. I can't believe this is really happening to me. I close my eyes and count to 10, and when I open them, you're still here. I close my eyes and count again. I can't believe it, but you're still here. We were strangers a moment ago, with a few dreams but nothing to show. The world was a place with a frown on its face, and tomorrow was just, I don't know. But the way you make me feel the moment I am close to you makes today seem so unreal. Somehow I can't believe it's true. Tomorrow will you still be here? Tomorrow will come, but I fear that what is happening to me is only a dream. I close my eyes and count to 10, and when I open them, you're still here. I close my eyes and count again. I can't believe it, but you're still here. I close my eyes and count to 10, and when I open them, you're still here. That is one of the great songs. And now, a little bit of Chatty Tuesday. Impressionists. Over the years, I've known a few. I was first taken to a MacLeod gig in the early 1970s, and I was frankly underwhelmed and also very disappointed by the backstage hospitality, but that was then. I've always thought that Impressionists occupied an entirely separate niche, nerdy sector of the business populated by those that aren't actors or singers or comics. They are, well, I suppose they are impressionists. And admittedly, it's one up from a ventriloquist or a children's entertainer. It is undeniably a very specific talent, but so few use it in a refreshing way. It's like learning to play the viola. Well done. Well done for learning it. What the hell are you going to do with the talent that you've got? And in the past couple of decades, we've seen some great impressionists, Bremner, McGowan, Ancona, but too often the repertoire seems predictable and anodyne. Well, the man there, the man sitting next to me, not quite literally, obviously, he's up self-isolating in his native Scotland, is neither predictable nor anodyne. He is the best impressionist I have ever heard. Like I said, I've known a few, and that does not include Davro, but Lewis Macloed is in a field of his own, and he deserves to be a household name. Mr. Lewis Macloed, how are you?
Greetings, Lenny.
Are you well?
I'm grand. Any better, I couldn't stand it, sir. Yes.
Well, I thought I'd move my my video conferencing facility into my rather modest, it's my second lounge, but it has quite a nice ceiling, I think.
It's beautiful. It's Sistine, and it's Fu Yuck doing the cleaning for you, because there's a lot of chandelier there. Exactly.
I've got it's a scaffold tower that he's erected from bits and bobs that he's found around the estate. And it's both illegal and dangerous, but he doesn't have insurance, nor the airfare home. So anyway, Lewis, I suppose we've got to get it out of the way. How are you taking to the self-isolation?
Well, this is the longest I've ever spent in Scotland in about 27 years. I've actually really been enjoying it. I'm sort of out in the sticks a little bit, and We've discovered walks that we never knew existed. I've been out on the bike. I did 35 miles on a bike last week. I look like somebody that's stolen a bike, to be honest with you. I've got none of the gear that you wear. I don't look good on it. I huff and
You're
pant
going
and
very
puff.
fast in a kind of, I've got to get away from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll give them it back, but I just need to try this. I've not been on one of them for decades. Fuck off! And I'm cycling, which is ridiculous. I'm nearly 50 and it's not, I'm not look like a cyclist, as I say, but I'm enjoying it. So I'm getting a little bit fitter. I think I'm losing a little bit of weight. Good. And I'm seeing more of my family, and which is nice. And I've built a studio. So this is from the palace, from palatial surroundings to the smell of yoo-hoo. I'm getting high talking to you with these newly stuck-on acoustic panels.
I've always wanted to know, do the acoustic panels work? Because it looks like you're in a downstairs toilet.
Yes, I'm actually having a shite at the moment, shitting on the dock of the bay. But it's kind of cool. It does work, and it's only a little corner of the upstairs. I thought I'll need to put something in, but I've had to build it in a bit of a hurry because of all this carry on with the corona. So.
I mean, the joy of doing what you do, which is, I'd say primarily, I suppose your bread and butter has been for what, best part of correct me if I'm wrong, I think I first met you, I was coming out of a voice session in a studio in Soho. I don't think it's there anymore. And I was just done a jingle for the Frinton Tourist Board. Fun is free in Frinton! You had done I think you were still very high.
Did I do the legals for that?
No,
Frinton is not a real place.
Your
home is at risk if you do not keep up repayments.
It will be replaced.
It will be.
I think you've done pasta sauce, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's yeah. I faked so many accents.
You could do anything, and you can do anything.
This is like a motivational speaker.
You've been hawking your vocal wares.
Whoring myself around the square mile. Because I guess when you were in a voiceover suite in the reception area, you know this, you'd be sitting there with, a legend of acting, somebody with a really, exotic sounding voice, and you'd get them in a sort of disarming state. There'd be, like Tom Baker, we're both fans of the Baker, and you'd have him sitting in the backing reception, moaning about plasma televisions and Brabantia bins. And so I've always been a fan of how people sound, and to meet these icons was the best thing about being, first of all, placed in that Soho world. So I just took to it really quickly.
Yeah, but we both, it's one thing to be fascinated by the sound, and of course, me too. But it's another thing to be able to be fascinated, harness, and own the replication of the sound, as indeed you have done. And that is a talent that comes from wherever.
Well, I didn't know that there was this department, if you like, in the business that, okay, so, I do trailers, imagine a world, from director Steven Spielberg. These are, Lenny's a great actor. He's a wonderful actor. When in the 70s, I was going to make a movie called Jews and remake Shrek, Schlock, and James Bond. Lenny would have been so wonderful.
Oi, oi, 7.
Gefilte finger. And
the world is not enough already. From Rosh Hashanah with love. Doctor, no!
Yeah, I know. But these were there's a department, as I say, like, if they're making a trailer for a film and they want to cut a scene, they'll get a mimic in to maybe impersonate half of one word. So it's like karaoke in a way, but you're actually impersonating the person doing the words, which is very odd. And they use that.
And not illegal, weirdly.
No, exactly, yeah. I've impersonated half of many words for many stars over the years. It's as close as I'll get to sharing a stage with them, perhaps. But yeah.
You have to go way back. Is it the usual journey of mimicking friends, family members? And then
my
going up this
brothers, my late brother Callum. Well, yeah, exactly. Callum was a brilliant mimic, and so my brothers Callum and Donald would be impersonating Monty Python characters in the 70s. My parents really encouraged that and got us to set microphones up. And being so much younger than them, I just saw it as this is just bringing laughter anywhere it goes. It's a good thing to do. And so I would take it to school and then start doing the, yeah, you're right, the traditional route of impersonating the teachers, family members. In fact, it was Alistair, I think he was on Parky one night, and he just said when he grew up, and he summed it up for me perfectly, he said that when he was at the dinner table, he just thought that's what everybody did, impersonate one another. So it's been as much of my life as education.
Again, and I said this in the introduction, what sets you apart is it's your ability, and anyone who knows you knows the Macleod, the real Macleod, the real deal. You know what you possess, not only the talent to impersonate, and that does, you know, we've all known a few great impressionists, but it's the ability, it's coupled with the improvisational skill that you have, and without wanting to just you know, lick your rear completely clean. It is, and it's a unique, that's a unique combination for me. It's that ability to hear incredible flights of fantasy when you're in those characters, and they become characters, if you like.
Well, I've got to thank you, because actually you've given me that platform. You gave me that in the 90s. Remember the Pigalle, those wonderful nights, you know, from the, well, I think a voice like McKellen, you know, you sort of get to know them and you sort of give them the parameters. So McKellen, well, and operating a toaster at this crisis time is, well, quite tricky for those people that don't know how to operate and plug in a DeLonghi. But instruction, as in theatre, it's all in the text, irrespective of the language. Toshiba, JVC, these are all too many conundrums, but with a little bit of practice and training, you will conquer the most diverse electrical appliances that make noises that even your cat would bawl cats. I don't know what it is. I mean, we've got, you and I have spent many years howling at who's the hot voice, who's the person, who's a caricature, whether it be in commercials, the stage.
Yeah.
And you've been as much of an inspiration to me finding voices. You, ads, Adam Longworth, Berry, you know, are very much of the moment saying, right, we need to get, it was Adam Longworth actually said, you need to do Obama because you sound like Obama. And I said, well, don't be ridiculous. He said, no, he said, tonally, for those of you who don't know, Adam's a voiceover, a mutual friend of ours, a great guy. So he said, do Obama. So suddenly you do take notes from other people. You kind of pick it up from your friends.
But to pick up that point, of course, those are voices that are in the, certainly with political voices, they're in the firmament at the moment because they happen to be in power. Obviously for you, you're very lucky that, not lucky, you have this gift. So you can do Bojo as well as Trump, as well as you used to do Obama. So you've got, and you have to rinse it while those people are in power. And then of course you used to do Obama. You forget because you're so entrenched, certainly in the last couple of years, of doing Bojo and Trump.
I've never been that clever, but I remember the introduction I got to satire was through Clinton.
I only started doing his voice the last week he was in power, practically, you know.
I did not. Indeed, I did.
I think it was an ad for the Sunday Times. The Sunday Times is the Sunday papers.
But we did. I did not. I did.
What really happened? It was the Star Report. And that was like the first. I was like, actually, I wish I'd studied that voice and I could have got, you know. So, they happened by chance as well. I mean, Obama was, as I say, it was Adam said, you got to practice. So I started listening to him and I found there was obviously it became the speeches because how do you make Obama funny? And we discovered it was the florid nature of his speeches, you know. We're fighting the flames of despair with the cooling waters of hope and courage, fanned by the winds of truth. You know, Trump would be like that. What the fuck is he talking about? Does he speak like that at breakfast?
But that's what I was going to say. It's presumably it's then the juxtaposition of taking the grandiose and putting it into the mundane day-to-day life. It is over the breakfast table. It is having your daily ablutions. It is, you know, that makes it funny. I mean,
nobody can say ablution like Lenny Beige. Ablution.
Ablution. I caused a commotion in my ablution. So which came first for you? Was it Boris or was it Trump? I remember being in the back of a car with you, and it was the first time I'd really heard you do Trump. And certainly Boris was on the radar, but I can't remember which came first.
Well, I think it was Boris, because I remember we in Dead Ringers we had I think a Trump sketch way before he announced he was going to be president, and I hadn't really got his voice. I think I sounded oddly more like Alec Baldwin in a film called Glengarry Glen Ross. We sort of did him as a salesman, you know, because you're bitching about what? You're bitching about that sale you shot. Some son of a bitch don't want to buy land, some broad you're screwing, and so forth. Put that coffee down. It sounded nothing like Trump. But, you know, what we tried, I remember when he was doing his stadium, you know, his big rallies, his voice is really got quite high. And I thought, I can't really hit that note. And then he did an interview with Barbara Walters, and it was, Donald, you know, what made you think that you could do this? Well, I don't know, Barbara. I just realized I'm the only guy for the job. And this almost messianic tone that came around the same time. He became very ponderous about it. And I don't know where, you know, because, you know, to sit down, but I thought, actually, if he wins this, he might just be doing this voice, this guy. Because that was all we heard of him was at the stadiums shouting and bawling, you know.
Yeah. But for me, it's when you take it down a few notches and you have to make him smaller. When you have to, especially for radio as well, it becomes more intimate. That's for me when the funniness comes out. Because I think when people are blustering, it's easier for anyone to have a go at the big. You know what it's like doing an accent. When one is shouting, much easier than I think when it's the day-to-day, the quiet, the whispered, the hushed tones. And that's when the magic for me comes out of an impression.
Oh, well, Trump's got that in spades. You know, he's got, you know, that sort of, we did a sketch that ran for weeks, which was, you'd phone up Mike Pence in the middle of the night. I'm very nervous. I just watched Jurassic Park. They've got dinosaurs. I'm a T-rump, you know. And intimacy was the key to it. And playing on insecurity definitely gave us the gags.
So because you are very well known for you've done Dead Ringers now for many years. And I've often wondered, so it's done in front of a live audience.
Yeah, it is, and I think for the first time they're inquiring about getting us on this year to do it from home. So I don't know quite how that's going to work, but it certainly works for Have I Got News for You. They're doing it on that. So
yeah, I mean, I think, but your ability to slip in and out without the costume, and of course, you know, when you have Olivier used to say, if you haven't got the shoes right, then everything else falls into place. But with you, it's like I've said, when you're out with you on of an evening, you just keep putting money in the MacLeod fruit machine. It's like a jukebox that is just heavenly. It's like bang, another one. And it's so. Okay, I want to talk about the process a little bit. So the process of just some just land in the lap immediately that kind of almost come fully formed.
And Boris did. Because all right, we could all do a posh boy sort of, but that was the clue that I thought, oh wait a minute, we've got to do something with this kind of almost cartoon quality of him. So I think my impersonation of Boris Johnson, was probably more accurate. Boris is out there, but and prefacing that character with some silly shit like that, it sort of gets a laugh in it because he sort of does that. But now, obviously, he's been through what he's been through. We have a different Boris now. We have a much more. I'm a dad. His name is Wilf. He's a Wilf in Boris's clothing. But he's he's definitely a changed man. God, what he's been through. But
do you
think a gift of a character?
Yeah. Okay. And I suppose the more because to many people, Trump and him are the most ridiculous politicians. This is the world we live in. So of course they're happy to be cartoon characters in of themselves. So I suppose for you it is just a gift. But what would you say in your canon, in your arsenal, in your armory was one that really took a long time to to harness and to own?
Well, that was a character in a Guy Ritchie film, Bricktop.
Yeah, because there's a lot of voices.
Alan
that
Ford.
do. Alan Ford.
And it's funny, you've got to meet them socially. And I've had the privilege of spending a few hours in Alan's company, and he's dynamite. He's the funniest man. But he occupies, I think, an actor that you really admire, like De Niro, is hilarious, and he's got menace. And I think those are the ones that I've found particularly difficult, just possibly because I admire them so much as actors. You kind of, it kind of thwarts you a little bit because you want to try and get the voice and get the mannerisms correctly, because their performances are virtuoso most of the time. So that
I can
one
remember
of a few.
I can remember it was the first time David Arnold came to
the great David Arnold.
The great David. And David saw or had heard you do Bricktop for the first time. But it was a real moment, because who else does Alan Ford, crying out loud? And yet it's one of those voices that is just, I mean, you can't unhear it. It's such a unique, there's something I don't know, the back of the throat kind of, it's a Cockney gargle.
I don't know. It's a funny thing.
It's like there's certain voices I couldn't do until I'd, like trailers. I could sort of do an approximation of one, but you've got to live a bit. And I think it's a voice that I got when I was slightly older.
It was, because as I say, I was always doing older characters. Do you know what Nemesis is? A righteous infliction of a retribution manifested by an appropriate agent. In this case, personified by me. A horrible
Charlie Uniform November Tango, over.
Yeah, and he's a fucking great actor. I mean, he's
really brilliant. I thought.
Okay. Yeah. Let me just say, I'm gonna hold this interview there. I'm gonna sing a song.
Hey!
I'm gonna come back. You can say how amazing I was. That's everyone knows. And then we'll.
Amazing, Lewis Macloed. Okay, let's have a little musical interlude. I thought this very appropriate. Out of the tree of life, I just picked me a plum. You came along and everything's starting to hum. Still, it's a real good bet, the best is yet to come. Best yet to come, babe, won't that be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen him shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway. Wait till our lips have met. Wait till you see that sunshine day. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, the best is yet to come, baby, won't it be fine? I said the best is yet to come the day you're mine. Oh, come the day you're mine, I'm gonna teach you to fly. We've only tasted the wine, we're gonna drain that cup dry. Oh, wait till your charms are right for these arms to surround. You think you've flown before, but babe, you ain't left the ground. Oh, wait till you're locked in my embrace. Wait till I draw you near. Wait till you see that sunshiny place. Ain't nothing like it here. The best is yet to come, babe, won't it be fine? The best yet to come the day you're mine. Come the day you're mine. If you're gonna be mine. Oh, come the day you're mine. Oh, the best And now, ladies and gentlemen, it only gets better with Lewis Macloed. The best is yet to come.
Whoa, there we go.
Oh!
Don't let me down, though. That was the best is yet to come, Lewis.
You have a gift. You did that so well. The best has come. The best is Lenny fucking Beige.
There you go. Let's talk about accent, because you are a Glaswegian.
Yes, sir.
Of course, it's a West Coast accent. It's a glorious accent. Someone like Connolly has never been able to do anything other than his accent. Even East Coast Edinburghian Sean has never been able to not do his own accent, really.
Yes.
And yet it's something that you do with extraordinary ease.
Aye, but it's funny because I think there is that differentiation between an impersonation and a dialect, and I'm not as good at dialects. And we still have, Brummie accents. Like, I've got to base it on an impersonation. If I don't do that, then
All right,
I'm
so
kind of struggling.
You're telling me you can't do Cillian Murphy in Peaky Blinders?
Oh, well, that would take a bit of work. If I get this wrong, I'm just going to look like an arse.
But genuinely, let's see if there's an approximation.
Peaky Blinders. Yeah. Oh no, because I
like this is the process, presumably.
This is the process. This is the light being let in on the magic. Is I sound like Scooby-Doo, but no.
Scooby-Doo, exactly.
Peaky Blinders. Zoinks.
Scooby-Sticks. Scooby-Sticks.
Zoinks.
What's this you walking
on BBC One?
Oh, brilliant.
I went up for a job, and I did do it for Christmas. I was playing a cat. It was Brussels sprouts, and they wanted me to be one of the characters from Peaky Blinders, and I had to get tutored on how to do the accent. But it was
to
a
be
good
fair,
laugh.
in the first series,
session,
except for Cillian Murphy in the first series, they were all over the place like a mad woman's piss with the accent. I mean, McCrory was, it was like, but it was such a good series, it didn't seem to matter. People are like, somewhere in the middle. That's fine. Fine, get on with it.
Yeah. Well, that's always the thing, isn't it? Is that there's a perception that if you're north of the border or you're a Celt, that somehow you can actually affect accents with more ease than other regions. And I don't think that's true, but we all know the shitty accents that we've seen in films over the years.
Yeah.
There's a few. That's what I think. I like character actors. I think I've got that because they get into it more with the persona, with the accents and stuff.
Is there still
fancy a bit of character acting yourself?
Well, I would say, is there a character? Is there an impression that still eludes you?
Well, there's a few. When David Cameron was the Prime Minister, that was a tough one. I could never get his voice down. I
actually was doing Nick Clegg for a while. And but to get to Nick Clegg's voice, I was sort of impersonating Boy George, darling. I don't know what it was. It was about the 80s. Heat is the enemy of drag, and I'm fucking melting. But if you straighten his accent up a little bit, you get closer to Nick Clegg. Hello, I'm Nick Clegg. Sorry about that.
It's like
blend in.
It's like rock family trees where they just go from one to the other and more to the other. Is it also amongst the kind of panoply of impressionists? Is there a certain, I suppose, is there a trump card that you're like, no one else can do that. No one else. This is mine. Do you know? Amongst a little cabal.
Well, I did get a tweet once from David Coverdale of Whitesnake, and that made my year, frankly, because I was introduced to. I knew the band. We all knew the band, Whitesnake, great rock band, right? But the character of David Coverdale,
amazing.
I only really understood who the guy was through Guy Pratt, the bass player.
Our mutual friend Guy.
Our mutual friend Guy, who himself is hysterically funny and was doing this show, My Bass and Other Animals, My Bass and Other Animals. And he's telling this story. Now, if you know Guy, I think, right, now, this is a bass guitar. Now, Lewis, talking about Pink Floyd's Money, he said to me once, now, Lewis, we both know a cash register is not a tambourine. And told me this brilliant, he tells this wonderful story about staying with David Coverdale. I'm going, this guy sounds hysterical. So I then went and found an interview of him, and he really is. He's David Coverdale. It's a sort of, it's grand. You know, he's got I live in Lake Tahoe, 6,000 feet above sea level. I have a view, an alpine view from every window. There is actually a video of him where he talks about how his kitchen gets turned over by a giant black bear.
By a bear.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Yeah. You see, I went into the kitchen and he says, and with my famed Coverdale tones, said, "You've got to leave." And the bear knocked over my Tiffany travertine and climbed through the window and was never seen again.
What did he tweet you?
He tweeted me because we did this little online thing. Nobody heard it. It went out on, it was a BBC online thing in Scotland that we did. But right. Philip Differ, a brilliant writer, he's a massive fan of Deep Purple. He doesn't say Deep Purple, it's Deep Purple. It's a woman, Deep Purple. It's Deep Purple. And so he sent this little message saying, that's what it's all about. Best of the season to ya. I was so made up. I was with Tom Wilcox, a brilliant piano player in Grouch, and this came through as a Christmas message. Merry Christmas from David Coverdale. I thought, that's great. You know, I don't sound like that. The lawyer's letter's in the post. You fucker. No, he didn't do that. He was happy.
Gilliam is another one that I'd not heard anybody else.
Oh, I've not done him for ages. Yeah, Gilliam. The thing about Terry Gilliam was that he always sounded like he was about to burst out laughing, and it was a massacre. He went in there. He was just opening. It was terrible. Throwing knives, things going off the shelf. It was absolute carnage. You know, I mean, he could be telling you a horror story.
He should be doing the COVID.
Most violent thing I've ever seen. His head was just eviscerated.
He should be doing the daily COVID from Downing Street.
The darkest thing you'd ever see. I mean, it'd be awful. But he's one of those characters. I think I actually did work with him. I did he said to me, "You're the fifth Heath Ledger." I was brought in to do like the fold of a frame. He wanted to cover it, so in the fade out, he wanted to just bolster the voices. In the what's his name, the lead actor that passed away,
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger. He said, "You're the fifth Heath Ledger." Sorry. So he said he got me in to do his parts in different accents, and so I got to work with him. He said this, they call me the most cursed director in Hollywood. He said, I don't know why.
Did you the impression before you did it, or was it consolidated by working with him?
I think it's consolidated. I think you sort of refine it as you go. You think, oh, he does that.
Yeah. You know, like when I got to work with Alan Ford, because
darling Matt Berry wrote a thing he did where
I had to play his twin brother, Baz and Benny. And he's, you know, and he actually said, "Oh, no, I don't speak like that. Oh, no. This is right." He said, "Right."
It's like slight subtleties. And he refined it.
Have you done yours to Tom Baker as well?
I haven't had the chance to do Tom. I'd love to fucking meet him. I think he's wonderful. I love his wisdom. You see, they sort of look at me as a kind of god. Have you seen that interview? Oh. They say that they come to me at these conventions, and they come up to me, and they want to touch me, and they want to feel me. And it's a part, and it is a wonderful place to be when you're Doctor Who, and that you've reached the point in your life, the apex of your career. You are seen as a sort of god or a demigod.
I don't think, okay, see, I think you can make even an impression that people don't know funny. And so one of our shared, so we do, you know, I mean, obviously being men about town, and we are members of a couple of drinking establishments in Soho. One of them has a piano player who we both know very well and both have sung with. His name is Rod. And I know you can do an impression of Rod, but people don't know who Rod is unless you are a member. But I think if you just did a little snapshot of Rod, people would still laugh without knowing.
Well, I've always been able to do sound effects, Dave, and I like the sound of a piano.
And the more pissed you are, the more authentic the piano sounds instead of it just sounding like you're screeching. But
I like the thing about Rod Melvin is, and I love him dearly, he's very funny, man, he's very dry. I'll have a Malbec. Is that he'll complain about anything. I don't like that wallpaper they've put in those houses around the corner. I think they look awful.
There's a lovely. And I'll have a Malbec glass. It's a very nice sound. And he's got a beautiful singing voice. I can't impersonate his singing voice. He can a lovely singer as well.
Another favorite, of course, I would say another very favorite is which I think was one of the first I heard you do. In fact, I was trying to think of the first impression you did on the Beige stage, and I think it was George Galloway.
Oh, salam alaikum, peace be upon me.
Boy George Galloway was the first one you did.
Boy George Galloway. Well, that was your shout. You gave me the, do you remember we came on with the dreadlocks and he had, remember he had that black ink, whatever it was.
I came on the stage to say, let me be very clear, and Tony Blair.
And yeah. And then we do Wogan. We did the late, great Sir Terry.
But of course.
We did old Sir Terry Wogan there. Thank you so much. Katie Melua, she once said, there are 9 million bicyclists in Beijing. What she failed to mention was there are 2 million Parisians with chlamydia. Good old BBC Radio 2.
Oh my God, how much do we miss him when you just hear this?
I know, he was wonderful, the best.
I know, there's people I know that can do the impression of Wogan, and of course it's you and your old mate Peter as well.
Hey,
and you think competition must be a very good thing because you guys kind of started together, you and Peter Serafinovich.
Yeah, that's right. We did a series for Radio 4. We wrote a series called The Two Dannies, which were based on Danny LaRue. I did panto with Danny and I was about 23, and he was hilarious. I wear 3 pairs. God rest him. 3 pairs of support tights. That gives me the shape around the ankle. Yeah, we did, and so I think it just was born out of telling anecdotes. And Pete said, "Hey, this is really funny. We should do something with this," and it became the Two Dannies. We did 4 episodes. Peter Fincham produced it. Hello, Peter Fincham. Hello, right? And yeah, it was nuts. Lots of songs.
Yeah.
Impersonations. We did.
Is it good being in double act in terms of egging each other on and that kind of, mates rival?
Oh yeah. Definitely. Well, Ronnie Ancona and I did Edinburgh last year, and she played Melania, and she does the funny, I'm a good mother. And so we come out, and we discovered this. I've known Ronnie over 25 years, and in 2017, we discovered that where we were talking about doing Donald and Melania, we both discovered that we were born on the 4th of July, which is nuts.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? It's just so she's fantastic, and she's a great writer as well. So it takes the pressure off you if it's just improvised, then you sort of distill it. Working with Kim Fuller as well. He co-wrote it with us. Brilliant guy. Great for mimics as well, Kim. He writes well for mimics.
He does. I mean, what he did for your show, that I've seen, it was brilliant. And there's a show. I am gonna just thank you for again making me laugh. This is the first Chatty Tuesday thing, and I thought, what's going to give value for no money, Lewis? Because you'll interview just one of the great men of the business.
Oh, bless you.
You get 50 voices for nothing. And
I'll tell you, man, I've had some of the happiest nights of my life as sharing a stage with you over the years, from Pigalle to the 100 Club to Groucho, and and with the managerial expertise, another voice that nobody's fucking heard of is Mike Lee. He organises it. Lewis, just do your Susan Boyle. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Susan Boyle.
Oh, do your Susan Boyle, and I have played Susan Boyle.
You did it, yeah.
Hi.
Lewis Macloed, thank you very much.
Love you, Lenny.
But I love you too. Please enjoy it. Just go on, just being as incredible as you are. You are literally the best. You're better than all the rest. Better than anyone I've ever met.
I love you, man. Lochheim the New to you.
Lochheim the New. Over there, up there in Lochdown. You're going to have it. You're going to have it.
I'll take it, man. That's great. You're
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
You fucking talking about your fucking ride.
Actually, I was going to say the only impression I can do is obviously Roger Moore or Alan Carr.
Oh, Alan Carr's great. It's fucking so warm up here, and nobody speaks to anybody anymore. It's really ridiculous. And that 2 meters, oh, fuck off. When are we getting back to our fucking work?
Lewis, I love you. Thank you so much.
See you soon, fella.
Thank you. You are amazing. Lewis, that was absolutely.
Well, I think you'll agree what an extraordinary talent Lewis Macloed is, and just a wonderful gentleman, a dear, dear friend. I'm going to finish on singing this song. I've only done it the once, but I knew it would become a beige standard, and it goes like this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. I love you all. In my heyday, young girls wrote to me. Everybody seemed to have time to devote to me. Everyone I saw all swore they knew me once upon a song. Main attraction, you could not buy a seat. The celebrities would die to meet. I'd had every accolade bestowed on me, and so you see, if I never sing another song, it shouldn't bother me. I've had my fame, you know my name. If I never sing another song or take another bow, I would get by, but I'm not sure how. Always posing that you love it all, you have to learn to act like you're above it all. Everything I did, the world applauded once upon this star. Framed citations, they hung on every wall. I got a scrapbook full of quotes I can't recall at all. There were times I felt the world belonged to me, and so you see, if I never sing another song, it wouldn't bother me. I've had my share of fame, you know my name. It's Lenny Beige. If I never sing another song or take another bow, I would get by, but I'm not sure how. If I never sing another song or take another bow, I would get by, but I'm not sure how. If I never sing another song, it wouldn't bother me. I've had my share of fame, you know my name. Thank you for watching, people. I've been Lenny Beige. This, of course, has been Chatty Tuesday. Thank you to dear Lewis Macloed for just giving us an extraordinary array of impressions, the like of which I'd never heard before. People, take care of yourself till Friday, when it is a London special. It is, just because you're not from London doesn't mean you can't enjoy songs like London Calling, London Girls, The London Boys by David Bowie. All of them I'll be doing, and a little bit more. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting as well. I'll see you on Friday. My name, Lenny Beige. Your name, don't really care.